Hey folks, we're here back again with you to talk about our day today. It's going to be a short video. It was cold and rainy, and we're both extremely tired and waterlogged. So what do we do today, Pops? We went to the cemetery in Luxembourg.
And we had a guided tour through the city.
Luxembourg City. So we went to the American Cemetery in Luxembourg. There is just under 5,200 soldiers there buried. I believe it was 5,200-ish. One lady was buried there, but there was a torrential downpour, and I don't know that everyone was very focused on the content of the tour, but we were all there. And I think most people, like myself, felt compelled to walk the grounds anyway, even though it was storming and it was cold and windy and wet. Who knows if we'll ever be back here. And General Patton is buried there. And so me personally, I felt like it doesn't matter if it's cold, if it's rainy, if it's snowing, if it's 10 below zero. Me personally, I believe that I owe it to them to at least show the respect and walk the grounds.
I agree to that. It was very moving today being in the cemetery where these heroes lay to rest. And it was interesting how they have the cemetery laid out as General Patton was buried at the top or at the front of the cemetery, kind of like looking over his troops.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
I agree. They also have a few Medal of Honor winners there. And to be honest, I didn't hear a lot about their stories, but we got a couple pictures of their headstones. And then our tour guide, Ben, did a pretty cool thing yesterday during our lunch while we were just wandering around Bastogne. He went to the flower shop and had them make a wreath, and then asked all the veterans who were part of the tour to lay a wreath for the fallen at the chapel. So I thought that was pretty awesome, kind of a surprise, and it was an honor to do that. So Ben, if you see this, thank you. That was pretty cool. I hope you do that for all of your tours that you take there.
And the neatest thing about it too is while we were presenting the wreath at the chapel, the cemetery played taps while we presented the wreath.
Yeah, they did play taps. That's right. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't usually get through taps with dry eyes, but it was a special thing. Then we jumped on the bus. Our local tour guide from Luxembourg joined us and took us for a walking tour around Luxembourg City, which was also cold and wet and rainy. But she had some pretty cool information to share. A lot of things about Luxembourg that I didn't know. It's very small, and there is a ton of banks there. I guess I didn't realize that that's the world's capital of banks. You always hear people talk about Swiss bank accounts, but apparently Luxembourg has a whole shit ton of banks, and that's for a pretty good reason, I would assume.
She also talked about the businesses that have invested huge sums of money into that city. So there's a lot of businesses from all over the world.
Yeah, after the war, I think she said the Duchess, was she a Duchess?
I believe so, yeah.
The Duchess of Luxembourg did a lot of traveling around the world to start business partnerships with a lot of different businesses, and apparently she made a lot of friends in America. And so there's a lot of American business and banking that goes in and out of Luxembourg, which is pretty cool. Other than that, we had some traditional food at lunch. I had dumplings with bacon. They're pretty good. They're sitting in the bottom of my stomach like rocks, but they were pretty tasty. What did you have?
I had chicken.
Yeah, we're in Luxembourg. This guy has chicken Caesar, but it's all good. You have what you want. Was it good?
It was very good. Yep, it was good.
And so that's really about it. Then we got back on the bus. We did a little bit of walking around, but it was Sunday. A lot of the shops were closed. Cafes and restaurants, of course, were open. Some convenience store, a couple souvenir shops were open, but they have a lot of Gucci and Prada and stuff like that, but all of it's closed. Most things are closed in Luxembourg on Sunday, so it was a good day to tour it. Other than that, we got back on the bus, and I think it was a 45-minute to an hour ride back here to Bastogne, where the hotel is, and I would imagine everybody on the bus except for the driver was napping. Everyone was cold, everyone was wet, but everyone were troopers. You know, we got through it. I had a coffee and did a little bit of walking. I think we just put on under 6 miles today. So we got our steps in, that's for sure. So, babe, if you're watching this, I got my steps in today.
No, it was short, sweet, but it was very informative and also very rewarding being able to step ground in that American cemetery.
Yeah, the 2 hours we spent at the cemetery was definitely the highlight of the day and one of the highlights of the trip. I was pretty excited to stand at General Patton's grave. I think he was a pretty influential military icon, if you will. And so tomorrow we get on the bus early, bright and early, 08, and have an 7-hour drive to Munich. And then once in Munich, we start the rest of our tour. We still have, of course, the Eagle's Nest to see. We have a concentration camp to visit and see that, and a couple other things. So keep following along with us. We will bring you everything that we can when we can do it. Anything else, Dad? All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.